Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871. Coming to you today from Fox 29. I want to talk about this story because long overdue, very, very long overdue epilogue episode to the Jewish Family Services malicious prosecution of me, disabled homeless man. Um, for those of you, because I got thousands and thousands of new subscribers, the very nutshell gist of it was I was abused by a social worker from Jewish Family Services, verbally abused. She mocked me and made fun of me for my disability. I then exited her cubicle office and then went outside and made a video. You could probably find it down below, or I'll link it maybe. Jewish Family Services mocks the disabled, where basically I blew the whistle on the verbal abuse. Okay, and there were also other, what shall we call this? Faux anti-Islamophobia. The reason why I utilize the prefix faux is because I am not Islamic. I have no religion whatsoever. I have a spiritual contact with, as AA would say, a higher power, things like that. But no, I don't follow a religion whatsoever. But my name, Amir, my chosen name, Amir, it's a contraction of two words, a mirage, Amir. I chose that name for myself because I found that all throughout my entire life, people are constantly seeing me the way they want to and not the way I actually am. So many people don't take the time to actually get to know me. Anyway, so in reaction to constantly being targeted and vilified, being seen as this thing of evil when I am not. My name is Amir Bothy. Bothy's an old Irish word meaning an old shack shanty kind of a, and that's me, Amir, and I live in Bothy's, my little domiciles, you know. Anyway, so Jewish Family Services was humiliated. They were not threatened. They did not feel threatened. They did not feel fear. They were humiliated. They were panicked. I wish I had the paperwork in front of me right now. At some time, talking about this, it's very difficult for me. It's very stressing. And obviously my focuses right now are the traffic situation. So me delving back into this, it's daunting. But this story, this Google story, it deals with the fact that they are deleting or eliminating the Google Plus, and the Google Plus plays a component to the Jewish Family Services malicious prosecution case. I'll talk about that in just a second. So it's very difficult digging these things. It's re-traumatizing is what it is, and but it's very important that I let you guys know what the hell happened to me, because it's been made clear to me that nobody cares. I'm not a woman of any color, and we see in today's climate, unless you are a woman, unless you occupy something on the liberal elites agenda, political agenda, unless you occupy some genre, then nobody gives a shit about you, you know. Anyway, so nobody's going to care about my sexual abuse. Nobody's going to care about what happened to me. Anyway, see if I can segue into the tech aspect of this. Maybe that won't be quite as emotionally traumatic. But yeah, oh yeah, as far as the paperwork goes, The charge that I was charged with was making terroristic threats. Okay, that's a heavily abused charge. Heavily abused. It's a fourth degree or third degree. I forget exactly which. Felony. Um, Very heavily abused. And if somebody were so inclined and had the ability to comb through uh, your local charges, like nationwide, post 9/11, this terroristic threat charge hugely spiked, just went straight up between 9/11 and the advancement of the LGBT community. Terrorism and homophobia were the working tools of, I'm trying not to use terminology like shadow governments or things like that, but some of the LGBT platform, they were unwittingly hijacked, First Amendment usurped. So much more I could say there. You've been used and you don't understand and you don't see how. You were just very, very happy to get the gains, the equality, and I get it. Hey, I've been right there with you, my fellow LGBT. I've been fired for being gay. But what you don't understand is that you've been making the deal with the devil. Okay. You haven't been gaining, you've been trading. Okay, you had to surrender something to get something. So in my eyes, that's not an advancement. That's a trade, that's a swap. And anyway, in the handwritten statement to police, Lisa Wachowski. Okay, Aaron Bowes was the Jewish Family Services social worker that verbally abused me. Who then, it's like, how much do I want to get into this? I made the video blowing the whistle. A police officer from Atlantic City Police, whom in the trial, it left me with questions as to the nature of their relationship. How intimately connected was this cop and Aaron Bowes? It was Atlantic City Police who reached out to Jewish Family Services, Aaron Bowes. Do you want to file charges? Aaron Bowes said no. Then they shopped it around because Atlantic City Police, probably all the police in this area, they have an axe to grind. This is Charles Dunbar. Let's get him convicted. Because of his YouTube channel and because of the way that he blows the whistle on us police, they then recruited, unwittingly or wittingly or unwittingly, recruited Jewish Family Services to play the role of victim. Hence, Lisa Wachowski, their manager, handwritten statement. This handwritten statement is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. I will show it to you in a later video. In it, you will not find any, oh my God, Mr. Dunbar said this that threatened me. You won't find any statements of threats or anything of the sort. What you will find is a decree of we are worried about our shareholders and how we will look. Literally, this is what this victim statement is saying. Victim statement is saying that you're worried about your shareholders, and there's no credible threat here whatsoever. Anyway, I'm sweating because I know I've but when I watch some of my old videos or prior videos, after that little dig I did on dude about FBI says when you touch your nose, that means you're lying. I am sweating in here. It's it's a light vapor and whatnot. Anyway, do I want to talk about my nose right now? No, I don't. I also have a very severely deviated septum. Very severely deviated. I'll talk about that another day. So it constantly calls me to fiddle with my nose. Anyway, um, so that was Lisa Wachowski's statement. There is no credible threat. Lisa Wachowski is talking about how basically her organization, her charity, has been made to look in my video. That's what she's worried about. And they had no problem whatsoever maliciously prosecuting a disabled homeless man, somebody that they are charged with protecting. As far as the mocking, Erin Bowes, she began to snicker at me, giggle, and laugh as I was talking about the sexual trauma that I suffered while incarcerated. Seriously, fucked up, not okay shit. Not fucking okay, Erin. Not fucking okay. In the trial, I told Judge Podolnik that I had prior dealings with Erin because she was my case manager. There's a whole backstory to it. I can't get into the whole testimony right now. But Erin Bowes had dismissed or discharged or closed out my case X amount of months prior, okay, to her verbal abuse of me, okay. Um, Jewish Family Services facilitated and helped me get my disability, okay. And what was so fucked up about this is that Jewish Family Services could have very easily ended up playing the role of hero in this whole ordeal, okay? Jewish Family Services, they don't deal with housing or anything like that. Okay, fine. If you don't deal with housing, you don't deal with housing, although I've heard some different accounts, but whatever. So be it, so be it. When Erin Bowes initially closed out my case, it was over the phone because I called her like, oh, I don't know what, 2 or 3 times to get in contact with her, to tell her, to update her that Disability had contacted me. They had called me, telling me that they had received my claim and paperwork and whatnot. And to me, I was like, holy shit, whenever these government agencies, because normally you're on the phone for like a trillion hours waiting just to talk to somebody for 2 minutes. And here they're calling me, telling me that the paperwork has been received because she did it on a computer. And that phone call was very important to me because it helped to alleviate anxiety that my case has been, and that it just didn't, when she hits enter, it didn't just simply disappear into the ethos, basically, like that. So I called her 2 or 3 times to update her. I forgot exactly what, I couldn't get a hold of her. And then when she finally did get in contact with me, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, whatever the case may be, change hands are getting numb here. She was like apologetic, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was away on whatever. I can't really remember what her excuse was. Whatever, whatever." So, what did she say? She then basically said that, yeah, we're going to be closing out your case. I was like, that struck me as very odd, very weird, very bizarre, because our last physical meeting, let's see, I forget. I don't know if the computer work for filing for disability was the last physical meeting or if it was a meeting in the McDonald's. Yes, the very McDonald's that I got kicked out of. She was going to be helping me attain housing with some services that do housing, okay? She said that she would start working. There's a whole backstory to it, but I was going to an IOP for like addictions. There's a whole backstory to it. There's not time for to tell you now and whatnot. I was going to this IOP basically as a condition of my ROR, release on recognizance, bail from the jail, and anyway. So she starts writing an email on her phone to my case managers at the IOP, And I say, okay, well, just make sure that you let them know that you're talking about Amir, and that switch hands here again. You're talking about Amir because I don't really use my you know I don't use Charles as a name anymore. Like I say, uh, people see the way. Anyway, um, and as I said, Amir. Her thumbs on her phone began getting slower, and she wrinkles her brow. Amir. She didn't say Amir, but she just wrinkles her brow. She had a look of disgust on her face, and her thumbs started getting slower. And then she just kind of puts the PDA, I still call them PDAs, her phone away. And I didn't think too much of it right then and there, but I just made a mental note of it. And from there on, that's when she just went ghost and just dropped off the grid, and all help and all support just simply halted. Uh, did this Jewish woman and her Jewish charity, were they vexed that a perceived uh, Muslim, basically, Islamic or whatever they call it, is Jewish Family Services guilty of Islamophobia, whatever you call it? Okay, so yes, surprise, surprise. The race and the class of people who are so quick to cry anti-Semitism, turns out they're just fucking bigots themselves. Planet Earth is populated with bigots hating other bigots. Surprise, surprise. Like I say, don't get yourself all worked up over their Jewish suffering, Holocaust, this, to that. Yeah, take a number, get in line, all right? We've all been fucked over. In Earth's 4 billion year history, everybody's been fucked over, all right? Take a number, get to the back of the line, Shylock. All right, you're suffering, my suffering, everybody fucking suffers. All right? They expect black people to just get over it. Hey, black people were expected to just get over it, and you better do it peacefully. But you, the concentration camp Jews, hell, at least the world's militaries, the allied militaries were willing to at least take up arms to liberate your ass. Yeah, as the Third Reich rolled across Europe. Yeah. At least you got an armed revolt. Black people? Well, we'll get around to your liberation eventually when we get embarrassed bad enough. Alright, let me get back to this is supposed to be a tech thing here. I ate up a whole bunch of time, so I'm not going to be reading this story. Basically, Google is shutting down its thing. Oh yeah, one of the in the prosecution centerpiece. What time have I got here? 18. Centerpiece of their prosecution was this comment that was made in the comment section of the video. Something about how did it go? Why would you wish for a mass shooting? Made by a commenter, either by myself or a cloned account or what have you. There's so much more I could say on this. My account, apparently it had been cloned. I forget, was it 2015, I want to say? I get in contact, not with Sprint, my carrier, but with Samsung. I get in contact with Samsung because I was having a lot of battery issues. When you have battery issues with your phone, that's a good chance your shit's been hacked. Anyway, it's a good indicator. And so in Willingboro, so I call, and I speak. The rep's name was Brian. I did write down his rep number, but I've since lost it. It was on a little tiny little thumbnail post-its and whatnot. I wrote down his rep number, but his name was Brian. I remember that. And we go to talk because he was going to send me a new battery. I said, okay. And he wants the address. Okay, so we got your address here. So you're still in Willingboro, New Jersey. What? Yeah, Willingboro, Millennial Drive. Is that it? No. Willingboro, New Jersey, Millennial Drive. I started to get, and he says, yeah, it's for your Samsung phone. He gives the make and the model of the phone and whatnot. And I'm like, no, I've never lived in Willingboro, New Jersey in my life and whatnot. And then I got curious and I was trying to get him to give me the house number because at that point I was just collecting information as for who it was that was collecting information on me. And all of a sudden I hear a bunch of clickety 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 clacking, and it's like, oh no, it's okay. I got rid of the account. I got rid of it. I got rid of it. So whatever it was, he deleted it, or so he says. And he takes my current information. By the way, I never did get that battery. Anywho, but yeah, I also then, because now I got information that somebody has cloned my account. Okay, and I go to call New Jersey State Police to report the cybercrime. Nobody at State Police wanted to take this information. Nobody. They kept transferring me to a phone that did nothing but ring and ring and ring. I found that strange. Then I get a phone call from State Police. Still, they're not taking the information, but they kind of wanted to know, what did they want to know? Why I was calling or something. Anyway, I gave them the name of this person because I had been getting cryptic phone calls. There's too much to tell. Too much to tell. I don't have enough time. Anyway, nothing ever became of that. And the point that I'm getting here, I know it's so long. Google YouTube. This whole YouTube Plus thing, that was nothing more than a ham-fisted effort to break into Facebook's data collection. There was a very, very concerted effort by YouTube to get everybody to switch over to using their real names. Who remembers that? YouTube wanted to get into the Facebook market, and it wasn't going well, and they kind of launched a whole Google Plus to make that happen. And basically, this whole article right here, it's all written under subterfuge. They give false reasons as for why they're shutting it down. They never ever got the information that they wanted. What time have I got here? 22. They never got the information that they wanted to. So their experiment, Alphabet Google's experiment failed. They're not going to be able to get the information that way. People just didn't convert over to using their real names in sufficient quantity. I guess I'll get into the Ralph Burke arrest, Pleasantville arrest. That was my first video, or no, I guess the Egg Harbor Township. But the point is, the Ralph Burke, Pleasantville, it kind of went quasi-viral. It's like 20-some thousand views and whatnot. As I was talking, because that was one that has dealt with road laws, the whole lane control thing and whatnot. And I'm trying to address everybody that's commenting because I want to educate so many people. And what ended up happening in that video was that somebody said something acerbic, smart aleck. And I gave some sort of yo mama retort joke or whatever it was and whatnot. And then the person came back at me saying, "Fool, what are you doing? I'm on here trying to defend you." They weren't talking to me when they made their comment. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And God knows I don't got that many supporters. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do? And it was then that I realized that, if these videos are going to go viral, you're not going to be able to. I'm still sweating, I'm not lying. If these videos are going viral, you're not going to be able to keep up with all the comments, and you're going to have to just simply come to terms with that. And basically, you can't put every troll in check. You just simply got to let shit go, and that's exactly what I ended up having to do on that video and many others that have gone viral that I just can't keep up. And you guys out there, you're going to have to be able to spot a troll for when you see a troll and think for yourself, have your own independent thoughts. But more to the point with this is that I learned that because this phone, this Galaxy Note 2, it's so old that because the things I'm about to say right now, it's 24, things I'm about to say right now, you might be tempted to say, That's bullshit, total control. My Samsung phone doesn't, or when I use Google, it doesn't work like that. Remember, this phone is almost 7 years old. Its browser hasn't been updated in years. Okay, years and years. There are so many sites that I can't get on to ABCs with that. I can't get on to NBC. I can't get on to. There's a lot of sites I just can't get on to. I can't do any kind of shopping whatsoever. Anything that requires a secured site, the browser, I can't get into any of that. So still sweating, not lying. What do you call it? Commenting. Who's talking to who? I learned from that experience that people aren't all talking to me. People are having conversations within a single reply. So if I say something and then you'll have people start commenting below that, people aren't all talking to me. People are also going to be talking to each other. And because my phone, the operating system, it's so old that it gets very difficult. You can barely tell who's talking to who. I use Google Plus. I learned that if I use Google Plus, that it puts like a little blue plus as to who I'm talking to and who's talking to me. But this didn't always work. Also, if a person deleted their comment, it would delete their comment, leaving maybe either my comment or another person's comment below. So the whole why would you wish for a mass shooting comment? Maybe I said it, maybe I didn't. It could have been a cloned account, and it could have been in reply to a statement that had been there prior. And you see what I'm saying? Where am I at? 26. For Jewish Family Services to make their case, this is what they would have had to end up doing. They'd have to get in contact with Alphabet Google and convince them to come up off of some extremely proprietary, highly classified, and very valuable data to be made part of a trial, because everything in the trial is public record now. You're talking about operating systems. Even if it is an old operating system, these are all proprietary information that they don't want to give. They don't want to, because they got competitors out there, man. Nose is itching now. You would be asking Alphabet Google to give up highly classified, highly proprietary, highly valuable information on algorithms, how they collect data, use data. All of this would be included in this. All for what? All because some white Jewish woman didn't appreciate how she was not even spoken to, but spoken about. Because I never spoke to Aaron Bowes, and I've never met Lisa Wachowski in my life, okay? All of that just because you feel indignant about how your organization was spoken about. So that's basically what's going on. Look at me, I'm getting my dander up and popping my do-rag off my head. But yeah, Google, they're getting rid of Google Plus because they were hoping it would compete with Facebook. It did not. In this article, they go to talk about how, oh, it's because of the privacy. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Facebook has been hacked. I don't think Facebook has been hacked. I think Facebook sells the information and then cries hack later. Facebook is looking to terraform the psychological lexicon of the world. They want Americans to surrender their Fourth Amendment rights, and more to the point, they want Americans to forget they ever had Fourth Amendment rights. I could so segue right now. George Lucas, college film, THX 1138. The man couldn't even go to the fucking medicine cabinet without the fucking government knowing. And what was it that the computer voice would say? It was interesting. Pushing consumerism. Buy more. Just buy more. Buying things make you happy. I could so segue. Alright, guys. I'm going to link this down below. What time have I got here? We're coming up on 30. Hand is numb as hell. Okay, so hopefully I explained the Jewish Family Services malicious prosecution. Hopefully I explained Google and its and where what it was trying to do and how it failed, and Facebook. And yeah, Facebook, they got the new thing, Portal. Yes, schmucks are going to be out there to put this spyware in their home. They can't get enough of this shit. You know, I saw one guy coming out of a McDonald's, large man, not that I'm one to talk, and he just kind of walking into his car. Siri, call such and such. Wow. So you glutted yourself on McDonald's food, and now you're so fucking stuffed that you can't even dial or even go to your own contacts because that's too much effort for you, huh? Yeah. So we're seeing how these different autonomous organizations are playing into each other's. All right. I think you guys are smart enough to figure out what I'm saying. That's it for now. Total Control 871.